Greetings and various assorted salutations. This is the Week 5 update. This is for U.S. History 3, my social studies course on U.S. History 3. This is what we're looking at. First update, we are going to level 1 as per COVID protocol, which means that all students will be in the class 4 days a week with e-learning days. I do believe we have a Monday holiday coming up, Native American Day. The rest of the country seems to call it Columbus Day or something. But we do have that day off, which means we will have Friday in class. So that's so you're aware when that comes up. Though I'm sure there'll be plenty of notification when that does occur. So figured I'd just mention that now. The purpose of today's announcement is just go through and give you a tour of what our next unit looks like. I will be doing this in class on Monday. However, some students like to be able to rewatch these tours in case they're away or they're on quarantine or something to that effect, in case things, well, occur. So scrolling past the student resources, you'll notice that it's been radically reorganized. I've added a glossary section. I will be putting the video alternative access. I'll be adding the newest videos to that shortly. But there's some new materials, the Kahoot reviews I mentioned in a previous announcement. Let's shore that up. But we are now done with World War II Part 1. So if you want, you can actually shrink that up so you can get down lower quicker to where we are. You should have one student choice left, unless you've already done it, and the writing assignment. And we'll talk about when those are due momentarily. But at some point during this new unit, if you get those done, get those turned in. You may find that there's a lull after a particular unit or after a particular quiz, and that's a golden time to get these activities in. The student choices in particular are relatively short. I think the average completion time is 10 to 15 minutes. It's just a nice, simple thing. A lot of students like to do them on the e-learning Fridays. The writing assignment will take a bit more time. Most of the time, I believe, is spent reading the document that's provided. The excerpts are a bit long by students' definitions, but that's under the assumption of I issued it way back at the start of the semester, and so you just have a lot of time to get through it, and I encourage you to do so. As always, if you have questions, please let me know. I'm especially answering a lot of emails as of late. That helps a lot of people. This is our new unit. It'll be published shortly. It'll be available on Monday for certain. But of course, the first thing you always want to do is check the unit checklist. It's the place to start. As you can see with the unit checklist, the virtual student notebook will be due on the 22nd. The Part 2 test will also be on October 22nd. And the idea behind this is the virtual student notebook, which I'll show you in a moment, is the study guide for the test. Now that you guys have taken one test, you understand how these things work. And we will talk about the test that you took more in class. To pace ourselves and to give you an approximate idea of how far you should be through the unit, we will have the lecture quizzes. You know what those are. They're 15 points or less, and they're checking to make sure, are you getting through the material in a timely manner. I know the quizzes, the word quiz sounds a bit scary, but that is not the intent. It's really a struggle for everyone. This is a brand new world, and getting used to having to take the virtual notebook and fill it out and then turn it in all the way at the end, that's a lot. And these quizzes kind of tell you, okay, by Wednesday, October 7th, I need to have gone through the home front stuff. By Thursday, October 15th, I need to have gone through the shifting balance power stuff, the Nuremberg trials, etc. And you'll notice the Nuremberg trials and your student choice 2 and the writing assignment are due on the 23rd on that Friday. No. And I'll post a link to link to this video down here below when it's complete. But let's jump back. So the virtual student notebook is right here at the top. Now, when you click on this student copy thing, you'll get this page. You should only see this page once. Once you download the notebook, it'll save a copy into your Google Drive. Ideally, you should be signed into your school-issued Google Drive account. That streamlines the process. I'll jump into the notebook. Now, when you open up the notebook, it's set up very similar to the previous one. Essentially, the idea is once you've figured out how this course works, the technology really doesn't change, the content changes because, we're a history class. And so once you figure out the mechanics of this class, it's just a matter of applying them to new topics. If you want, over here you can kind of jump around things. Every time you see the word assignment, that's one of the things that I'll be going through when you turn the notebook in and grading. But you've got the resources here. You've got the assignment here, which is looking up and getting some terms. You could use the new glossary for that tool. Here's the next one. We have 4 lectures for this one and 4 assignments in the virtual student notebook. The lectures, I am hoping I have made them more operational. That is the hope. But basically you'll fill out this notebook. If you finish it early, you can always turn things in early in this class. Large aspects of this class are designed to be somewhat self-paced because I know some students approach learning differently, and technology allows us to do that in ways that were previously unimaginable. So the virtual student notebook is here. You should only need 1 copy. Then there's a little video. There's a lot of little videos in this unit, and that's because World War II is just filled with all kinds of videos that really crunch down the information and make it really compact. But you'll get to look at the story of Doris Miller, a cook at Pearl Harbor, and his heroics in that dark time in American history. And then you've got the lecture videos. There's basically this material here will prepare you for the quiz that will appear below. So the American Homefront quiz is based on the student notebook. If we jump over to here, it's based on these concepts, and the way to learn these concepts is through these things right here. The lecture video is, of course, the foundation. It gives you a broad survey of what's going on. There are multiple ways to watch it now. You can watch it from the Student Resources tab. You can watch it down here. There's a direct link to all of the YouTube lecture videos in US History 3 at this link. And there's the script and the slides here. And this is the same for all of these videos. Remember, I'm trying to standardize things to make your life, and well, actually I benefit as well from standardization. And then we've got a series of activities. These are videos, short little readings that go into more details about World War II. So I recommend watching the lecture video first and then watching these short videos to kind of build up and have a deeper understanding of the content that we're looking at. And then the quizzes will look here. But we've got 4 quizzes and 4 sections: American Homefront, Africa, and the Defense of the Pacific. And the materials there. The quiz will appear below. Shifting the Balance. The materials are here. And Winning the War. The videos, there's a bit more videos for this because the lecture videos are much shorter, with the understanding that there are people who make documentaries better than anything I could produce that can go into more detail. There's the additional assignments, so like in the previous unit, the Holocaust and Genocide assignment, where you went into more detail about that. For this one, we have a little activity on the Nuremberg trials, and it's actually archival footage from that, and you're answering some questions. Please let me know if this assignment doesn't work. We're still working out the kinks in some of these videos. Your writing assignment will be due on the 23rd, as well as the student choice. And I've added a new section. I previewed it in my classes last week, week 4, and it basically shows you some of the materials that don't make it into the course, but they're kind of interesting, and some students might be interested in, oh, why is the teacher kind of finding this particular moment in history amusing? And it's because, oh, well, I watched a video or read an article or things like that. Because the unfortunate problem with US History 3, all US History courses, we just don't have time to go into detail. You could spend an entire course on one aspect of World War II and still feel like it isn't enough. There's hundreds of books, videos, documentaries on different aspects, down to individual battles. And we just don't have time for that. And I want to provide a general overview. But those of you who are interested, you can dig a little deeper and maybe get an understanding as to what are some of the things that go into the consideration of how a course is built. But this kind of concludes my my tour. We're going to wrap up World War II with this second part. We're going to see America on the defensive, turning the tide, winning the war, and it'll set us up for the next unit on the Cold War. Please view this video as many times as you need if you need a refresher tour on how things work. And I guess, with all things being said, until later.